we're celebrating the 20th anniversary of Meaningful Beauty. Cindy's line, and Colman Domingo stars in the brilliant Sing Sing, playing in New York and LA and theaters nationwide in August. I am so excited to see Temptress Chastity Moore and Sydney James Harcourt in Cats, the Jellicle Ball, playing at the Perlman Performing Arts Center through August 11th. I want to go back to the virtual fans. Victor from Texas, what's your question for Cindy?
Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
My question is for you. Were those rumors true years ago that you were almost a host for The View? And is that something you would ever consider in the future?
Oh, wow. I didn't
Wow.
know that.
If that was, I didn't even hear the rumor, so I would assume I wasn't even close. And yeah, probably not. I think I like keeping a little more mystique for myself.
Right. Here are Kristen and Jillian from Connecticut with a question for Colman Domingo.
Hi, Andy. Hi, Cindy. Happy anniversary, Colman.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Colman, what's your fondest memory of being on set while filming The Butler with such an unbelievably star-studded cast?
Oh, man. One of my best memories of working on The Butler was working with Forest Whitaker. It was actually that one scene where I'm walking him through the White House. It was just, I don't know, just everything about it. We were filming in New Orleans in this mock-up that looked like the White House. But you felt like you were, I don't know, everything about it just felt so, like, important, that you were really creating something that, like, a story that no one had seen before and giving it a little slice of life about the people who work in the White House. So it just felt special. And Forest Whitaker is a dream to work with.
That's great. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. And Lee Daniels, that was in his period of directing films in his pajamas, actually. Oh, yeah.
I love it.
He loves a pajama. He wanted to be comfortable, and I think that was part of his genius.
Right.
Sitting in his full, beautiful linen
PJs.
That was even before the pandemic, right?
Exactly.
Like, that was before that became a
Exactly.
thing, right? He was ahead of his
Cindy
time.
Funk Nick 67 wants to know, in what ways did being part of George Michael's Freedom video impact your career or you personally?
Yeah, it's funny because when we shot that, everyone kind of shot at different times, and I got there and they showed me like what Christy had been wearing and Melinda, and then they're like, you're going to be in the tub, and I was like, oh, and I have to have wet hair, and I was like, I felt like I got the worst part, but then after I saw it, I was like, okay, they actually gave me a good part. But what was really cool about that song, it was like one of those moments where like fashion and pop culture and music all came together. Yeah. And that song, I mean, if you put it on to this day, I either want to get up and dance or get back in the tub.
Did you feel like it was a moment that, like, when you were doing it, you're like, oh, this is going to be a moment?
Not shooting the video, you didn't feel it was a moment, but shortly thereafter, there was a Versace show in Milan, and Gianni had the four of us, not Tatiana, but Christy, Linda, Naomi, and I walk out to that song. And George may or may not have been in the audience, but that was one of those moments where you feel it when it's happening. And that's rare.
Right.
Normally you look back and you're like, oh, that was really cool that I was there. But that moment you're like, wait, something's happening. Yeah.
Did you keep any kind of diary during your time?
Not enough. And that would be advice that I would give. And now it's so easy. You can just do like a voice memo.
Yeah.
Right? But like I had like my old Day at a Glance or
Yes.
whatever. Remember, we used to carry those books around.
Do you have your old schedules?
I do.
You do?
I do have those with some old Polaroids and stuff
that's
like
cool.
that. Yeah.
Coleman, resting bee face XO on Twitter wants to know your favorite part about being part of the Walking Dead franchise.
The fans are like rabid animals. They're beautiful and wonderful, and they come up to you and they're like, hey, Victor Strand, I just love you. And for them to love my character, which is a stretch, because my character was a villain.
Right.
He was a terrible person.
Right.
But everyone loves him because, I think he brings out the kind of things they want to do. So it's about the fans, I think.
That's great. All right, we are going to leave it there. I want to thank Temptress Chastity Moore and Sydney James Harcourt, Cindy Crawford, and Colman Domingo. For more, click around BravoTV.com. Good night, everybody.